Libra 22, a child giving birds a drink at a fountain. Here we're studying service. The fact that we're insignificant in one sense, in that we're just like grains of sand. There are so many of us on the planet, and it goes on and on throughout eternity that there are all of these different ways of being. As much as that is true, it is also true to say that we are creative. We create something. We're the creator of our own world. And so we are simultaneously nothing and everything. It's quite a paradox. And we come to understand that the operating principle for life, a life that leads to joy and happiness, is that we have to do to others what we would like done to us. It's the golden rule. And what we understand from this is already quite obvious to a child, that to serve the needs of a bird who wants water is a valid behavior in its own sake, for its own joy. There's no hint here that the bird's going to pay for the water or do anything particular to help the girl in her life direction. Not at all. She's serving because she gets joy from service. And this mystery is little understood. Usually when we serve, we expect something in exchange. This is not really service, this is trade. Even when we're looking after our kids, if the reason we're doing that is so that when they grow up, they'll look after us, or even we serve the kids because we want their love, even that, it's not the purity of service that we're discussing. The purity of service is that you serve whomever you can, whenever you can, because the joy that comes from that experience is unrivaled. We serve because it's our joy to serve. And therefore we seek out whom to serve. We make a creative decision to reach out to someone in order to offer our service without expectation of exchange. We, for example, meet a beggar in the street and give money as a joy, not really only because the beggar needs it, not really because it clears our conscience a little bit, not at all. It's because the act of service is joyful, unrivaled in its joyfulness as well. This is the mystery here. And as I say, it's little understood. It's really totally against the principles upon which the Western philosophy is built. So we have this naive child. She's innocent. She doesn't know about calculating her advantages and her strategies and all that kind of stuff. She just lives that way. She looks for opportunities to experience this great joy she feels, and she has this attitude of giving, and this radiates from her heart, and the heart becomes deeper and stronger as a result of this. This mystery is a very deep spiritual principle, and it's thought to be a fast track in terms of spiritual development, the track of service. The track of truth is also a fast track. These are the two main things that we need to do if we want to progress spiritually. We need to be true to who we are, and to find that service is joy. Because in service there tends to be the possibility of developing a depth of greater humility. And because in truth there's the alignment between soul and ego and the body's experience in the earth plane. These are the two conditions for spiritual growth. being aware that we're nothing in the face of God on the one hand, and yet on the other hand, being aware that who we are is primary and there's no compromise about that. This is a combination of ways of being that together create our spiritual nature. Now, being true to ourselves is in itself fulfilling. What most people kind of understand is that if they get this, if they do that, if they're recognized for the other, then they will be happy. Then they will get life satisfaction. And that misunderstanding is the root of so much of the problems we have in the world. It's the other way around. When we have discovered inner satisfaction, inner peace, inner joy, inner happiness, self-confidence that who we are is the path. It is not only the best path, really, it's the only path that leads to happiness, being authentic in our expression. And to remember that a part of who we are is nothing in the face of God, and part of who we are is God itself. To try and remember that is the task, the spiritual task. And this itself is what leads to satisfaction with life. Having that inner condition creates the outer circumstances of our lives. So if you feel you want to celebrate abundance to make you happy, then you just have to become happy and you will notice yourself celebrating abundance. It's not that money will make you happiness, it's that happiness will make you money. And you try telling that to most people, they really won't believe you. But it is that way. And so demonstrating that you are safe and secure and always having what you need in life is only really possible by giving it first. Whatever we give away first is what we get back. So if we want to be served, and we do, we can't get by unless there is service given to us. It's just not possible. We can't do anything alone. So if we want to be served, then to serve others is how that works. So whenever you find an opportunity to serve, you grasp it, because that's like putting money in the bank. That service that you give must come back to you. That's a cosmic law. Whatever goes out comes back. So taking opportunities to serve immediately, fully, whomever you can serve, in whatever way you can serve, is building up spiritual capital, in a sense, is putting the certainty into the future that there will always be somebody to help out when you need their help, or when you can actually enjoy their help for furthering your creative ideas. And the way that we know that's true is in the formula that to share joy enhances joy. We think about that, and it's true, isn't it? If you're just feeling pretty good alone and you find somebody to be with in that mood, they become joyful and you become more joyful. We know that to be true because we've experienced it so many times. And this is evidence of the formula that we're discussing here, that by serving joyfully and embracing someone else in your feeling of well-being enhances your feeling of well-being and therefore your capacity to share it with someone else and more people until this viral infection of joy overtakes the world. And we see that the opposite is actually operating in the world today, where the viral infection of fear is spreading over the world quite quickly and darkly at the moment. And all we need to do to reverse that is to find someone to help, find someone to serve, and then all will be well. The secret really of life is to reconcile in your understanding that which is reality itself, that we have to do what we want to do. We have to. That's what authenticity means. And yet, service means that we want to do what we have to do. So what we have to do, we want to do. What we want to do, we have to do. It's the same. They're the same thing. Service, therefore, is what we want to do. Duty, therefore, that we have to do, we want to do it. And if we have a desire to find something out, then we have to do that. And we find that this is the secret path towards joy.